to the Mountainside Podcast, and joining us back in studio is my good friend, Brandon Young. Brandon is a former U.S. Army Ranger. He's the co-founder and a lead principal at Applied Leadership Partners alongside former Green Beret Blaine Smith. They were co-authors on one of my favorite books, Perseverance is Greater Than Endurance. It is a must-read on my list. But above all that, Brandon is one amazing human that I always enjoy spending time with. We talked about so much. I truly always enjoy any time I get to spend with Brandon. This was a great episode. We dove all over the place in conversation today.
Brandon, good
Enjoy
to see you.
the listen.
Good to see you too, bud. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good to get coffee with a friend.
Yeah, a little bulletproof mixed with some Muddy Buck.
I'm into
coffee.
it.
Shout out.
Much love to Muddy Buck. You got to stop at Muddy Buck when you come to Evergreen. It's a must.
Thanks for coming in. Fresh off a plane from Atlanta and right into the
before
studio.
going to Steamboat. I mean, it was
somewhere
Missoula, somewhere else that I don't remember, Atlanta.
That's awesome. And you've been hitting the podcast circuit hard too.
Yeah. I've had really cool opportunities to meet some. Gosh, man, it's really neat. There's so many neat people out there.
I love doing this, man.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
like you really get into a cool space with people, and it's just the pros, like guys like you, guys like Andy Stumpf. Like you're just having a natural conversation with a good dude, and I think that's what people really want to hear.
Well, you really get to know somebody too.
Yeah.
Is what I figured out, because like for our last episode, for example, never judge a book by its fucking cover, because, and I say that.
Jason Lee.
Yeah, dude. Like,
whoa.
I had all these assumptions about him before he came in. Then he starts telling his story, and now I understand why he does what he does, and I'm supportive of it. It was something that I was looking at it at a glance. It's like, this is disgusting. It's
heavy,
right?
Yeah.
But now I get it.
Yeah.
Now it's like he's got my full support. I'm going to be watching his next fight. Yeah.
Well, what a story,
crazy.
Man. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it and just kind of enthralled by it. I was like, wow, man, like that's a real
long
story. And the interesting thing too is like we're all the same age, and I think what's starting to happen is we're starting to see, as Gen X, as we get into our mid to late 40s, and some of us are in our mid to late 50s, we're in that kind of band. You see these stories, and it's why there's so many memes out there where Gen Z kids are like, y'all made different, y'all built different.
Yeah, drinking a Budweiser, jumping a Hot Wheels,
exactly,
three-wheeler
totally
off of
different,
a fucking
and
wooden ramp or
and
some shit.
You listen to Jason's story, and when I was listening to the story of the fights that he got into, and how he got in trouble, I'm like, that could have been any one of us.
It could have been me.
Could have been me.
Yeah.
Like I had a lump in my throat listening to his story, because I was like,
well, I said that, and I've heard this on a podcast or read it in a book. I can't remember. I wish I could remember everything so I could give love where credit is due. But somebody said, or I heard one time, everyone is just literally one bad decision away from being incarcerated.
That's right.
And that's so true. Like, it can
especially
happen
when you're young and you're angry and you're lost and you don't have good mentorship.
Yeah. And then to bring it back, I know that you and I talked about it the last time you were in, there's that one commonality. Like growing up without two parents or
100%.
A role model, it's like, it just breeds.
Mostly fatherless homes.
Yeah. It breeds incredible people.
As it turns out, adversity, if you persevere through it, it transforms you.
Yeah. It blows me away how lucky I've been with the people that have sat in the seat with you included, man. So it's like, I love podcasting so much for that very reason, is like, to take it back to don't judge a book by its cover. Like, I wouldn't have known that unless you sat down with Jason for 3 hours. And you going to approach that guy at a coffee shop
Probably
or a
not.
bar, right? Is he going to let you approach him? No, it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just a different.
I mean, I don't know though. Like the vibe that I got was, I mean, sure, you see the guy and he's, I mean, he looks like he could rip your face off. But as you're listening to him talk, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's delightful. I would love to have a cup of coffee with this guy.
Absolutely.
You know, I'd totally be like, hey, you're pretty cool, dude.
Oh man, it's kind of cool too in that fight organization. He's the first true-blooded American. There's one other American, and he's a real piece of crap, man. Okay. Like, I am not happy with there's not very many people that I throw shade at, but like, he's American from New York.
Oh, okay.
And hates America and says it publicly. He said it on our site, and I'm like, whoo.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I have some of the most patriotic people on this.
Yeah, hate it for you. I mean, that's crazy. A bummer, man. I feel sad for people who cannot wrap their heads around the imperfection and beauty of our country.
It has been.
We are not perfect. We've never been perfect. We never will be perfect. And yet we are the best thing going.
Absolutely.
Bar none, 100%, call it however you want to call it. Being an American is an absolute blessing. We've essentially won the lottery, the citizenship lottery. And man, we've had a lot of, tough times in America in these last 5-10 years, but guess what? Extend the time horizon. There's been tough times in America ever since the beginning. It's never been some straight line to the top. There are no straight lines to the top. But we have the motto of the United States Army is "This we'll defend," and I think about that all the time, man. This will defend. You know why? Because it's worth defending.
Yes, 1,000%. And I think what people don't realize when you're on the top, no matter what it is. If you're the top podcaster, if you're the top leadership school provider or whatever, right? Somebody's going to be trying to knock you down, dude. That's heavy lies the crown, right? For that very reason. And it's just human nature if you're at the top, you better watch your six.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're at. So I hope we're at the top.
I mean, I've traveled the world, and I am always happy to come home.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to travel the world. I'm always happy to see other cultures. What I've generally realized is that there's great people no matter where you go, anywhere in the world, if you're willing to show up and be present and kind of be curious. There's also assholes everywhere you go in the world. Yeah. So you just got to be careful of that. But yeah, man,
traveling to those other countries is such a good perspective. And then especially going to the impoverished ones, I think it really puts it in perspective and appreciate simple things like fucking ketchup or whatever, right? That's just readily available. But where I really notice it now is going to Metallica. Dude. Probably one of the safest places to be in Colorado at the time of that concert. If you actually knew what was going on behind the scenes, they shut down the airspace.
That was an amazing show, by the way.
Yeah. What night? Did you go both nights?
I did second night. No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, shit. I got something for you.
Actually. Oh, yeah? Oh.
I got to find it.
I got something for you, too. Yeah, man. We were... that was so funny. I posted a picture of my buddy Shannon and I, and Shannon brought my son to the first night. So my son had just come back from deployment to Syria.
No way.
Yeah. So I don't think I hadn't talked about it much while he was deployed, but my son just came back with the 10th Mountain Division, deployment to Syria, came home. And it was
he went the first night.
And it was his last night in town. And my buddy Shannon was like, dude, I have these, 2-day concert tickets. And he took, Shannon took Jaden, and Shannon's known Jaden since Jaden was a little guy. Oh God, yeah. I mean, he's the real deal. You want to talk about somebody who really knows how to shred some guitar? Holy crap, this dude is a virtuoso.
I got something for him then too. So
yeah, so and then he took me the second night, and you saw my post.
Yeah,
we were just about to the car. You were like, dude, are you still in the arena? I'm like, oh no, man.
Yeah, I was going to give you. It's the second night is rough because they're doing their loadout, right? The crew is just banging out, and it's automatic. It's get every punter out of here that's not. But I was going to give you a little tour there. Man. But I got something for your son.
Oh, thanks, dude.
This is straight from the source too.
Yeah. Look at that.
Cool.
That's freaking dope, dude.
And then I got a couple more for you. So they make custom make picks for specific nights.
Oh,
or Hatfield
dude.
does.
Oh, man. This is sick, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Pretty rad.
This is pretty great. I got to oh, dude. This is so cool. I think I was telling you this. So I always ask people this question. Like, look at this. This is freaking sick. Man.
Yeah.
I always ask people this question. What's the first concert you paid for with your own money? And the first concert I paid for with my own money was Metallica, Shoreline Amphitheater, California, in 1994.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah, it was their Summer Shit tour. And you know what's wild is you can find that concert online now. It's insanity. The whole concert is online. And I watched it and I was like, whoa, like this is exactly how I remember. Because, sometimes you romanticize things
Right.
in retrospect. And I always remember, I never forget when they played the encore. It was one. And the way that they did it, they had like the lights shining up behind James Hetfield and he was up above Lars Ulrich and everything like that. It was exactly how I remembered it. And like it was just seared in my mind. Dude, what are we, 31 years later? Just as good, dude. If not better. I think they're better.
They're better. It's a band that you truly have to see live. Like the live recordings don't do it justice. You listen to it and you're like, oh man, like I don't know,
Yeah.
I mean, I love it all.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm a huge fan. Like third grade is when I discovered Metallica, and it was, I think, Injustice for All was out. And somebody showed me that, but then I found Kill 'Em All.
And then it changed everything.
That 30 minutes is the best 30-minute ride you will ever have in your life. And I've listened to that probably
a bajillion times.
It could be close to 100,000 times, I bet. Because it's only a 30-minute album start to stop.
Yeah,
and it is just thrash.
It is just
metal, right?
Whiplash, let's go.
Dude. And then that sent me down the whole metal rabbit hole of finding bands like Slayer and just like appreciating thrash metal, appreciating punk rock so much more. But anyways, long story short, so I've seen them probably now, I don't know, 15 times.
Yeah.
And I am never not impressed. And I thought, it's been a few years. The last time I saw them was at Bonnaroo Music Festival. I had a mandatory bus call. I was there with another artist, Kanye, actually. And the way those festivals work is you go and you set up like the 2 days before you actually play. So everything's staged behind it. So at set change, you just roll out. Well, I don't care. This is probably too much information, but Kanye was the headliner or something. This was like the second or third year that Bonnaroo was going. So it had to be like 2000 and actually, Tyler made me look that up. It was like 2008 or 9 or something like that. So then I guess Pearl Jam had got booked.
Okay.
So they bumped Kanye to an opening act for Pearl Jam, and he refused to go on before Pearl Jam. And they were like, fine, you can play after Pearl Jam. So it turned into this beef between Pearl Jam, which is funny because I know all of their production, and I know Eddie, and I know the band members. They're like, fuck you. They played for like 4 hours, dude. Like every song that they ever had, right? So now we're starting set change at like 3 a.m. or something. But anyways, before that all happened, Metallica played the night before. And we had this, if you've ever been to Bonnaroo, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like in the middle of these cornfields. And like there is nothing. There's no hotels for the crew or anybody. So we are there at Bonnaroo setting up, and then for the road staff, like if you have a laminate or something, it's an open bar, right? So after we set up, it takes us 2 hours to set up. Me and the boys are drinking until the bus call at 6 o'clock, and then we find out, holy shit, Metallica's playing tonight. Like we start seeing some of their crew, like run into their security guys, and so I was like, I can't not get on this bus. And they were like, there will be serious implications like from production, because they didn't want us hanging out there because there's no way back.
Yeah.
So So the bus, I get on the mandatory bus call. They had to call me like 4 times. I finally get on the bus, and I'm like, I don't know, 27 or 28 at this time. And I'm like, got a good buzz going. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way I'm missing this. So we start down the dirt road. The buses wouldn't leave without me. I was trying to get them to just oil spot me because they'll do that at a hotel. Like if you're 1 minute late to a bus call, you find your own way to work. You're fucked. You're on your own. It's called getting oil spotted. So I was hoping they would oil spot me. Well, they didn't. Everybody's calling me. So I get on the bus. I'm like, motherfucker. I was going to try to just like, oh, I missed the bus call or whatever. Yeah, I got stuck or the cops rolled me. I was going to come up with some sort of lie or something, right?
Yeah.
So we're going down the dirt road, and I'm just pissed. So I go to the back lounge for a minute, and then I walk back up because in the buses, you have all your bunks are in the middle, and there's a back lounge and a front lounge.
Okay.
And the back lounge is where all the smokers hang out, and then the front lounge is kind of like common ground, like you better be on your best behavior up there because you're kind of up there with the driver.
Right.
So I walk back up to the front lounge, and I knew the bus driver pretty well because you get to know him. They drive you every night. Well, you see them every morning and every night, right? And
that's the
you
team.
want to make friends with them.
That's the team.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, you need to stop this bus right now. And he's like, why? What's going on? I was like, just stop the bus. And he's like, nah, man, I can't do that. He's like, this Southern guy. I was like, listen, if you don't stop this bus right fucking now, I'm going to beat your old ass, dude, or something like that, right? And my buddy Jerry has got 2 solo cars. He's the guy I was at the bar with, and he looks like Axl Rose. He's sitting in the front with 2 drinks. It's maybe like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something. He's like, what are you doing, man? He's in flip-flops, no shirt, board shorts at this point. I was like, I'm getting off the bus. And he didn't say anything. He just got off the bus with me. And we walked 2 miles down this dirt road, and then we ended up watching Metallica that night. And it was one of the best shows.
It was worth it.
It was so badass because the way that they had the stage set up, we were able to watch from the wings, but they went old school with it. Like all these bands now, and you saw it at Metallica, have all these robotic moving lights and LED screens and all this sort of stuff. This was just an entire wall of old school like par cans, and when you turn them on, it's like looking into the sun.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's how they played the whole show.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're epic, man. It was, they're like the soundtrack to my, most of my life. Them, and Pantera, Ozzy, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and it's just, come on, man. It was
crazy.
So
Ozzy just passed too.
I know, man.
Yeah. But start to stop, that was an incredible show.
Oh, dude, it was amazing.
Both nights.
What was? Did you have any moments that really like hit you that you did not see coming?
They opened the show with Whiplash on the night that you were there. The second night was definitely the heavier night. My favorite of.
I felt like they almost played the entirety of Ride the Lightning as well. It was amazing.
Yes,
it was so good.
And it's almost like because I've seen them so many times. You can't recreate. They play a different version of it every time. Like they're filling in little licks here, little stuff there, and it's like
masters of their craft.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, same thing. Pantera. That's the first time I saw Pantera. I'd always wanted to see him. Of course, I didn't see the. Back in the Dimebag Darrell days and everything like that.
No disrespect, but it's not Pantera to me. It's like
that's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
But they were amazing.
Oh yeah,
masters of the craft, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even seeing Psycho Myco up there, Suicidal. So I saw
that
Suicidal.
Was awesome.
I saw Suicidal open for Metallica in '94, and so seeing them again, I'm like, dude, come on, masters of the craft, dude. Like they've been at it for so long.
So they opened the show at Shoreline.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? The coolest part about that, honestly, what hit me, well, there was a couple things that hit me. And I talked about it on the podcast with Whitney. One of the coolest moments of that day was we went out to watch Suicidal and went out with, and his son is now the bass player. For Suicidal Tendencies, and he's the original bass player for Suicidal,
absolutely,
and is playing for Metallica. I thought that was
there's so much
rad,
there's so much cool there's so many like cool connections in there. I mean, seeing Zach Wilde up there with Pantera.
Oh my God. Dude.
That was amazing. I saw him playing, about it must have been 95. Rob Trujillo must have been playing bass for Ozzy when I saw him, and then and Zach Wilde was playing, lead guitar. I got to see, both those guys play. It's just
Black Label Society is incredible band.
That dude is amazing.
He's a master.
Oh my gosh, dude. But that was the biggest thing for me is I get the impression, like I'm sitting there watching, I'm just like, these guys are masters of their craft. If you want to take a master class in anything, in sticking with anything and growing, persevering, challenging yourself, go watch any of those bands. Now, they're amazing. It's amazing.
And you want to know what fueled this tour? Well, I think Lars talked about it at the end.
I don't know.
Or did you guys stay for the full?
I don't remember what he said. Yeah.
So same sort of thing. Who's on top, right?
Oh,
because the Queen was on top.
Because they yeah, that's right. He said
and
he said we've been chasing Taylor Swift's concerts, and they're setting the records for like decibel levels or sound or whatever. He said
it was attendance.
Was it attendance?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Metallica beat it, right?
Yeah, especially with that stage design. I mean, there's a sliver of a stage there. It's not much, man. From a production standpoint, I was like, I'm still considering it. I'm considering going back on tour right now.
Dude,
weekend. It was awesome.
It was incredible, man. It was a really good time. The two things that hit me biggest were, one, when I kind of found Metallica, it was during a pretty difficult time in my life, right? My dad had left, and things were just tough, right, at the house. And I think we talked about that the first time I was here. And when I was 14 years old, I asked my mom if I could tattoo the lyrics of Fade to Black down my back.
Really?
And she said no, thankfully.
You got them today?
No.
Okay.
I have another tattoo on my back. It's a big Ranger tattoo. But what hit me the most is that I was able to experience the music in a way that I could be there, I could appreciate it, I could rock out, but it didn't have like a certain like dark grasp on my heart because dude, I love my life. I didn't love my life back when I was 14. I love my life at 46.
That's crazy you say that because I had the same exact feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I was going through like the rebellious, like, fuck you, fuck the world.
Yeah.
I hate everyone,
burn it all down.
Just like, I'll live life on the edge.
I want to make others feel the way I feel inside. That's how I felt at that age. And so, when I was in the concert though, I was just like, oh my gosh, man. It's like, I don't know. It was kind of, and this is silly, those guys don't know who the hell I am and they never will, but it was cool because it was like, I kind of felt like I was hanging out with an old friend and just being like, oh man, and all the words and you're just in it, but you don't feel like that like darkness that I felt. And not to suggest that Metallica's in the business of, casting darkness or anything like that. I just don't think that. I mean, you listen to the lyrics and they got a lot of depth to what they're saying. And then the second thing that hit me like a bolt of lightning, like I was sitting down and it was in like the transition, like right before the last 45 minutes of the show where they just like punch you in the face. One like,
pyro hits, it's like drinking a cup of coffee or something.
My buddy Shannon was like, dude, it's like they hit you with the jab and then they get you with the hook and then they get you with the upper. Like it was just relentless.
Yeah.
And they started that last 45 minutes with Blackened. And right when Blackened hit, it was like I shot up like a bolt of lightning from my seat and it was like, yeah. And I was just like,
yeah.
I just did not I didn't see that coming.
It's so incredible.
Yeah.
They're freaking incredible. And it's funny you say that because I feel the same exactly everything that you just explained. I felt the same sort of thing. The one moment in the concert where I was like, man, I'm getting old. I'm kind of tired. And boom, like,
and
here
then Blackened.
comes all the pyro, right? Like on that first night. And then so it's just, those guys have matured a lot, right? Like James is in incredible shape. he lives his life in a very, very, very cool fucking way. No social media. Spends most of his time in the mountains. He's an avid outdoorsman.
Yeah.
And, you know, lives in a house that he built with his own 2 hands.
That's cool.
Firewood heat. Pretty freaking cool, man.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Good on him, man.
Yeah. So I think
Dude,
from
we're talking
being 18, 19 years old to doing lines of Coke and whatever, drinking bottles of Jack, and that's the scene that they came up in. If you weren't a rocker, you weren't probably getting a record deal. Like if you weren't a party animal, I would imagine at that point.
Yeah. Alcoholic.
It's kind of
right?
like, yeah.
Back in the days.
Yeah.
Metal
and
up
I think
your
it's
ass.
a different, I mean, they're all in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, good on him, man.
I mean, you look at them compared to like, and this is no disrespect, like Motley Crue, Tommy Lee might be the only dude that's still kind of holding it together.
Yeah.
Sad to say, you know?
Yeah.
Nicky's, I guess, there a little bit too, but no, it was awesome, man. For me, yeah, it was definitely them opening the show on the second night with Whiplash. I was just like, let's fucking go, dude.
Game
This
on.
is my band for life, dude.
Game on.
I hope that they're playing this at my funeral.
So cool. Well,
And then I fortunately, with all the time I spent there over the couple days, because I went for like load in and stuff too. Like I was down
cool.
there while they were building. I had so many friends to go see and just so
That's
many
cool,
connections. It was awesome. So I ended up meeting the first day we were there. There was a Make-A-Wish girl that was there.
Nice.
It was really cool, and you know, production. Everybody hooked me up and my son up with a bunch of this, you know, memorabilia, the pics and all that sort of
that's
stuff.
way cool, dude.
So as soon as I saw her, I just gave her everything that was in my pockets. Like just literally like, take it all.
Yeah.
And super cool girl. She, I think she's maybe 7 years old. I wish I knew her name so I could give her a shout out, but maybe they don't want it out there either. But she loves to draw while she's listening to Metallica. She creates art.
Oh, that's cool.
So she ended up giving me this button,
Oh, get out of here.
and that's one of her drawings.
Oh, wow.
At the concert, which is pretty cool.
That's way cool,
And it
dude.
kind of mimics the Cradle and their recent album,
Yeah.
70 Seasons. And
Yeah, that's cool, man.
so I put it up here with all my challenge coins. And it's like fucking honored to have that up there.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
By the way, I brought you something.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Shit, man.
Yeah. I brought you something.
I don't expect anything.
I know, but
Yeah.
last time we were here, you needed to
Yeah.
get some real good whiskey. So
Three Rangers.
Three
Tell
Rangers
us.
whiskey. This was started by 3 Rangers who deployed to Somalia together in 1993.
Really?
And they do a lot of really good stuff for the Ranger community. You can't get it here in Colorado, so I wanted you to be able to add that nice.
So this is imported or bootlegged, huh?
I don't know about that. I don't want to get all crazy on that.
Nice.
It's more it just got
Yeah.
carried home from a suitcase from Georgia. So there you have it.
Badass.
Yeah, 3 Rangers whiskey.
Is it based in Georgia then? Or?
You know, I don't know. I just know you can get it in Georgia.
Okay.
But it's good whiskey.
Pull up 3rangers.com, Tyler.
Yeah, these are good dudes. And
Show this to the camera.
yeah,
That's badass.
what
man.
they also do, and what I really appreciate is that they.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah,
rad.
they have a 3 Rangers Foundation. They're really good partners with a nonprofit organization that I serve on the board of directors of, which is Gallant Few. And Gallant Few was also started by a Ranger, 1st Ranger Battalion veteran, Carl Monger, great guy. And you know, what we do is that we help veterans, particularly with an emphasis on Rangers, find hope and purpose post-service through connection, coaching, and counseling. And that's Gallant Few. Yeah, you can see this is, you know, 3
That's
Rangers
rad.
right there. That's
Pull up the Gallant Few, because this is one thing.
gallantfew.org it should be.
I love these second podcasts because the first ones are very interviewing, and I felt like we dove down your story
Yeah.
somewhat, and it's a great freaking episode, man. One of our most downloaded
Oh,
by
thanks.
far.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and especially like those little clips that we made was so much fun to make, and
Oh my
just
gosh,
like it was
dude.
rad, dude.
You're like a
I love doing
virtuoso,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
Man, it's so good.
So
yeah, there you go.
We didn't really dive into this. So can we spend a few minutes on this? Because this is one thing I'm passionate about, helping, people that have served in any sort of light, whether they were Rangers or not. I don't care if they were a cook, or whatever. Right?
I don't care either.
Yeah.
I just care that you're proud of what you did.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's important, right?
100%, man. I don't care what you did in the military, man. You stood up, you served, man. Be proud of what you did.
Absolutely.
Anyways, so Gallant Few, you want to talk a little bit about Gallant Few?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so like I said, very proud to serve on the board of directors for this organization. You got guys like Tony Main, who is a Ranger Hall of Famer, 3rd Ranger Battalion veteran, Carl Monger, 1st Ranger Battalion veteran, and as I said, what we do is that we help veterans find hope and purpose post-service. And we have 3 kind of major mechanisms by which we do that: the connecting, coaching, and counseling. So Carl is, this guy has done what needs to be done to serve the community. Like, he has literally gone out and become a licensed professional counselor because of the need. Because what happens is that it's really hard to connect with people that you feel like they don't really get it. And so Carl has gotten licensure. There's others who have gotten licensure. One of the programs that I am particularly, if you hit that, Tyler, Ranger for Life, go to services, back where you were, go down to Ranger for Life. This is a program that we champion, that we run. We are the strategic charitable partner of the 75th Ranger Regiment. So there is only one 75th Ranger Regiment. There are only about 3,000 Rangers at any given point in time in the U.S. military. And what Ranger for Life does is we have unprecedented upstream access into the Ranger Regiment based on the relationships that we have and the work that we do. And what Ranger for Life does is that we hold symposiums prior to these Rangers getting out of the military. And if you remember when you and I spoke the first time, that was like a radical event for me when I got out.
The transition, right?
I didn't have Ranger for Life when I got out. So I felt like I had cut my player card. I spent 9 years in the Ranger Regiment, and then I left. And all my buddies kept deploying. Guys were getting killed, guys were getting, stitched up and the whole 9 yards. And I felt like I abandoned my family. And then I also felt like I didn't know how to come home to my family. And so I was just isolated. And what Ranger for Life does is that we get upstream. We have anybody who is within a year of getting out of the service, we hold a symposium. They do them once a quarter. About 100 Rangers will show up from each battalion, so we do them in all the battalions.
So they're still active at
They're
this
still
point.
active.
Okay.
And what we do is we go upstream and we start to connect with them. And Tony and his team, they say, okay, hey, when you get out, you're going to take off the beret, but you will never take off the scroll that you earned. You will always be a Ranger for life, and let us connect you with Rangers who have been out for a while. I'm one of the mentors. 3 Rangers Foundation from 3 Rangers Whiskeys does a good job. Like, we work very closely in partnership.
Awesome.
They do a good job of connecting people. There's a liaison in every battalion, 1st, 2nd, 3rd Ranger battalions. We also have the RMIB. And what we do is we basically say, let's make sure that we go upstream and really kind of like put our hand on your shoulder. Let's find out, like, what do you want the next phase of life to look like? Where do you want to go? Do you want to go the education route? We have put so many Rangers into top flight grad school programs at like the Harvards of the world, or the, Penn State, UPenn, all of these incredible institutions. These guys, the leadership potential that these guys have is, it's unmatched. But we got to make sure that we translate it into, the next phase of life. And that is what Tony and Carl and Zach and the team are doing with Ranger for Life program. I'm really proud of what we've been able to do. We have served thousands of Rangers at this point, and the level of face-to-face access and care that they are getting, that connecting, coaching, and counseling, it's incredible, man. And guys are going on, they're doing great things in the world. And we've actually got a big event coming up we do every year. It's called Run Ranger Run. And it's two-part. It's so mountainside. You're gonna love it because
yeah.
it's both connecting the community and keeping them activated and really moving towards healthy things, and also raising money for the organization. It's called Run Ranger Run. You get a team together and you cover 565 miles in 33 days. Okay, you can do it running, you could do it hiking. All of our mountainside brothers and sisters out there that are hunting, you could do it hunting. I know you're covering big tracks.
20 miles some days.
Right. And so you get that together and you reach out. It's a peer-to-peer fundraiser. So you reach out and you say like, hey, raise money for this cause. It's going to help Ranger for Life. This is the tip of the spear guys that, otherwise it's a very isolated community. The Ranger community, like we've always been kind of, I don't know, like the redheaded stepchilds of like the joint special operations world. I think it's mostly because we all come from like broken homes and we have chips on our shoulder. Right. But anyways, but I'm really proud of the organization. Proud of the 75th Ranger Regiment. Leaders like the regimental sergeant major. Chris, dear friend of mine. Amazing leadership that they're doing to say, no, we're going to go upstream. We're going to make sure the guys get the help that they need.
That's so rad.
And that's what Ranger for Life funds.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
I think it's such an asset to these companies, and not only that, our country, man.
100%,
because like those people, I've gotten so much mentorship from the guys that I know, and especially from the special operations community, because they're just a different mindset. But then I look at guys like you that are just crushing it in business too. And it's like, fuck, man, I got to get my shit together. Like I need to come to you for some personal coaching, because like right now, like one of the things that I have is just like everything's coming at me at 9 different angles, right? Like I have like 12 different angles of attack, and I've built this thing. So sometimes I don't know where to focus or where to put fire down range, I guess.
I think it's a good indicator that you're on the right trail. Mm-hmm. When opportunity management becomes one of the biggest challenges. And that's where you're at right now, is opportunity management. You have a lot of inbounds, and you have a lot of inbounds because you're excellent at what you do. People can feel the authenticity, the genuine aspect of it. And so I think that as leaders, that's what we have to do, is we have to figure out, like, what do I have to say no to? Because it's really hard to say no. Mm-hmm. Especially when you think back to 5 years ago when you were just scraping to get by.
Yeah. I think it's one of the best things that you can do, though. It's just a hard no, because like to be drug along, like I've had certain guests that I've reached out to that I'd love to have on. They're like, yeah, well, I'd love to be on.
Yeah.
And
we'll be on.
It just keeps, it just keeps going and going and going. And
sure.
then, no shade, no disrespect. I understand people are busy, and I know what a time commitment it is to come in and do a podcast too, right? Like this is half of your day.
Yeah.
By far.
It'll be the best.
So
half.
I'm always appreciative of whoever shows up, that I invite. But from a leadership standpoint, just as far as business that are crushing it and like mindset, and then also like physical stature, most of them family squared away really well. And even if they're single guys, just the way that they treat people, their genuineness to let me know when I'm fucking up. Mm-hmm. That's important to me. I don't want somebody, you do not want friends that just agree with you all the time.
No.
You don't want to be the coolest friend in your friend set. You want guys that are more of hammers than you are, right? You want people to drive you and push you. And that's what I find. Like most of my closest friends or mentors in business and or life have served in some sort of form of special operations. Not all of them.
Sure.
But, some of them are dirtbag roadies that did numerous amounts of cocaine at a young age, in third world countries. And it's like,
lived a lot of life.
Yeah. They're still badasses, right?
Lived a lot of life, got a lot of wisdom from
I would
it.
say 80% of my mentorship in business and just in life, and people that have really changed my perspective on a ton of stuff, like religion being one of them.
Sure.
Have been those guys. And I think I also find that commonality a lot of times in fighters have changed my perspective.
Yeah.
Because they're genuine and honest, and they're not afraid to tell you if they disagree with you. And that's taught me a classy way to do it when I'm in here. Like, I'm not afraid. I don't care who's sitting across. If it's Jason Lee and I don't agree with him, I'm going to genuinely tell him, because I've found so much respect out of that. It's made me a better person. It's stuff that's stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I've learned that from hanging around that community.
Well,
you know,
there you go. I mean, as iron sharpens iron, so too does
Hell
one
yeah.
man sharpen another. You know, it's the opportunity. And I think that the key is for us to, I think, be willing to ask a little bit.
Yes.
You know, like, hey, can you, sometimes you need somebody to listen. Sometimes you need somebody to challenge. Sometimes you need advice. Sometimes you need encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to be willing, especially as men, to ask for that. And I think as men, we got to, and just people, we got to be willing to give it a little bit here and there. And sometimes if people say like, hey, yo, I don't actually need advice right now. I just need somebody to listen. It's like, go for it.
Yep.
Because that earns the right when somebody says, hey man, like, can you speak into this? Because I'm just not sure I'm on the right course, for you to be able to say, yeah, I think you are off course, in fact. But you can't jump to that until you've sat with somebody and really been with them.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It just show you don't have to know everything. You just got to care.
Right. Well, you
they
at
know
least
that
have to know that their situation, right?
That's right. You
Yeah.
can't just jump in without any context and say like, oh, well, you should just do this. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't have the context. You don't have the depth of understanding of what has happened here. But, you know, that's why one of the most beautiful illustrations that I see in the Bible is when, you know, Jesus is praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he knows he's about to go to the cross, and he's praying for the Father, you know, if it be your will, take this cup from me, right? I don't want to drink this cup. I don't want to get freaking nailed to a cross. And what does he ask for his disciples to do? He says, just sit with me, just stay awake with me and pray with me. Like, just stay awake with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he asked for. He didn't ask them to solve anything. He didn't ask for advice. He didn't ask them to take the cup from him. He didn't ask them to do anything but just stay with him. And I think that that's where it starts, is show up and be with others.
You're
you don't have
only
to
as
have the
strong
answers.
as the people that hold you up, man.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
I truly believe in that. And that's why I treat anybody that helps me here. I try to. I hope I do, Tyler. I try to treat you guys all with respect, no matter where you're at in your life or what you guys are doing or whatever. And like,
yeah,
just treat them how you want to be treated.
Well, you're on the team.
Yeah,
This is the
100%. Yeah. And Tyler's been a huge asset.
Yeah.
Like, I'd take you into a bar fight with me, dude, if I still did that. You know what I mean? Like, you're not the biggest guy, but you could fuck some shit up. Or I know you'd have my back, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's about. It's like, it's not always about in the touring industry, and that's the only thing I can relate it to. I can't relate it to a military career. It wasn't always the guys that there's some really exceptional guys.
Sure.
That were really good at their job. And they were also very easy to get along with and a lot of fun and would give you shit and fun to be around.
Sure.
And then there was people that were exceptional at their job, like prodigies, could hang
Yep. Real
the moon,
standouts.
Like, yeah. Right? But they might have had a shitty attitude, and they might have been bitter to everybody, and they might have been, you know, I'm better than you, big ego stroke, a dick measuring contest, whatever you want to call it. A lot of those guys got faded out of work. Like, they will not be on tour with Metallica.
No.
It's kind of funny because, in looking for this is Metallica's laminate, which I shouldn't actually be showing this. But I think that this is one of the coolest things
that
I've ever seen.
Be nice or leave.
Yep.
I love it, man. You know what was really cool? I'm going to say a little bit.
And that's on everybody's laminate.
That's
and
badass,
it's around
dude.
your neck, you know, like.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
You know what's really cool about that is, so you go to the show, 75,000 people there, right? Mm-hmm. And from the outside, you know, people might look at that and say like, okay, you got like, you know, people are like, you know, like tattoos and maybe you know, I don't know, you got people drinking and this and that, and you got like, I mean, hell, cut off shirts and the whole 9 yards. And you remember when we were kids, like, you know, like I literally wore my shirt from 1994 that I had cut off, and it was so funny because Kelly's like, you did a really bad
You sent
job.
me that photo.
You did a really bad job at cutting
Dude, it
the
doesn't
sleeves
matter.
off. I was like, I was
Metallica.
probably drunk.
That's what I love
just gotta
about
leave it
being
there.
in the industry that I'm in. I'm in black Dickie shirts.
Exactly.
A shirt and Vans.
And I'll tell
I'm
you
happy.
what, couldn't have found a more kind group of people. People are like, people talking to each other. You talk to strangers. People are like, you know, hey, oh, excuse me, you know, like, oh, pardon me, can I? Oh, yeah, of course, you know. Yeah, everyone's super kind. I mean, that's the experience that I had.
Well, you get the cream of the crop. If it was $3 a ticket, probably not, right? Expensive fucking show to go to. But
Anyways.
I've been to so many concerts from all facets. And dude, this last month has been wildly insane. Like, just through who I've had in on podcasts, I've gone to more concerts than I normally go to. And it's funny, all the opportunities I have to go, I really don't go to them because I don't enjoy them.
Well, right.
But I've enjoyed this last month. Like, it's been insane, just the amount of people that have come through town. And I never really see bad interactions at shows. I went to Social D recently.
Wow.
Which was really cool because Mike Ness is coming back from cancer.
Wow.
Right now, like, just battled, I think it was throat cancer. Might have been lung cancer. I don't know. But he's back in remission.
Wow.
Crushed. Boulder Theater.
That's amazing.
You know, so to go see him in a small venue like that, it won't be too long and you won't be able to see that.
That's way cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then, I'm sorry, where was I going? Oh, just the amount of people that were coming through. But I didn't see one fist fight.
No.
I saw people like overheated, exhausted because maybe they were a 65-year-old dude and they were trying to live like they were 18 years old.
Well,
right?
I saw a dude like literally vomiting like crazy, like 5 seats over. I was like, dude, I was like, you need to slow your roll, bro.
But it's different. Like, you go to a UFC fight, you got to be your head needs to be on a swivel. Who's sitting to the left and right of you, man?
People are drinking out of shoes too. I don't understand this.
What are we doing, man? This is America, man.
I don't
Stop
get it.
that shit.
Yeah, stop it. What are you doing?
We're not in Australia.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways. But I think to bring it back full circle, it all starts at the top with leadership. That's why I see so much value in what you guys are doing. Like, if the band or the head of security didn't decide, I don't know who decided to do this, probably Seth, their head of security. Because this is their deal, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think it's fucking rad, dude. Like,
yeah, it's really cool.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, these are my people.
That's
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like one of the hardest bands of all time and the biggest shows of all time. And that's what's on there. But that all starts with leadership, right?
It does.
So if you set that precedence, guess what? Everybody's probably going to be fucking nice.
That's right. And that's why the people who, you know, they might have some kind of expert authority, but they will, like the roadie who is excellent but is a total dick. Mm-hmm. They're not going to.
Oh, they just get, I've seen it happen time and time again. They just get, they don't have a job. They just bounce from tour to tour to tour to tour.
Right.
They might keep them around for 5 days to get it started, but their second in line is normally the nicest guy in the world because he'll work for an asshole.
Right.
Like,
well, and because, you know, those people are, you know, I was just writing about this, you know, like there's no such thing as a Lone Ranger. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing, you know, because anything worth doing is only worth doing together. And you cannot do the things that we are asked to do. You know, you hear that expression.
Well, even the Lone Ranger wasn't alone.
I know. He had Tonto.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
right?
dog. I know. I'm like, it's, you know.
Right.
But like, it's just, you know, you hear that as an expression now because we're so far past, you know, the Lone Ranger, and, you know, the remake with Armie Hammer wasn't fantastic. But anyways.
I didn't even watch it. I don't know.
You didn't miss anything.
Okay.
But, you know, no disrespect. But like you hear people like, oh, you're going to be all like Lone Ranger on that? Like, it ain't happening, right? Because you can be great at something and be that individual, but you're not going to get anything worth doing done unless you have a team behind you. And if you have that cancer on the team, it's got to be addressed. You got to address that person who is providing that kind of disruptive posture, because how many people are on a road crew?
It depends on how big it is.
Like a platoon-sized element?
Probably
40, 50?
No, it's probably 100.
100.
So I know for a fact.
That's like a company-size element. A Ranger company is about 100 people, a little over.
So just the video department is like 25 people or some shit like that. Like just for what's going on the screens, because they have all these camera operators. You walk backstage and it's a full-on, dude, I hope that they produce the content that they're actually mixing from the video standpoint. It's like you're walking into a TV truck. It's every bit as level as like the UFC. Like they could put out.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Well, you're not going to get that done with one expert.
No.
You're going to get that done with one team.
Yeah, and there's a team back there switching. Like this guy might be specifically for Lars. This guy, I don't know, but it's crazy. And then an executive director that's directing
Yeah.
all the call shots. And it's crazy, man.
It's
There's
the same
so much
way
to it.
on a military operation. If you're going to do anything complex, you know, in special operations world, you have all this stuff going on. It takes a team.
Yeah.
You know, there is no, you know, I talk about this like a Lone Ranger thing. Like, you know, like we grew up in the Rambo and Commando era. You know, you watch Commando like smoke 81 dudes to get to his daughter.
Rambo also had exploding tips on his fucking arrows
right?
and was
And
killing people with a compound, which is the most unconventional piece
Right.
of weaponry. Like,
But that's what people actually think.
right.
But it's not actually true. That's not the real world.
Yeah.
You know, like real stuff that gets done is done with a team.
Absolutely. That's, I mean, to take it back to Gallant Few, I think that that's so important. And that's the one commonality that I've found with a lot of these nonprofits and stuff that I've been involved with is I always want to know, like, A, where's the money going?
Sure. 100%.
Right. And that's public knowledge, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
look at the 990.
Yep. And then 2 is how fast can you help somebody? Is it immediate?
Yeah.
Or is it like, yeah, we'll take your application, then it's like trying, for example, to relate it to the general public, if you've ever had anything done medically that needs a specialist, you might wait 3 months to get the treatment that you actually really need.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's how I kind of look at nonprofits is like, can they help right away?
Yeah.
Or can they not? And not from a money standpoint, because a lot of times fundraisers and stuff like that are involved so they can go on and do the next thing.
Sure.
But I think that immediate help and immediate things that happen. And then also the third thing that I always check is like, do they also involve their families in some sort of way or fashion, or like trying to support the family? Because I think that that's the most important thing to those veterans, or maybe they're still active guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they care about their job, the guys that are on the left and the right of them, but the family, their kids, are probably the most important thing to them, I would imagine. Right?
That's right. Yeah. And I think that it's all of that they get when they go through Ranger for Life.
Yeah.
They get it all. Any given point in time, maybe a couple times a week, I'll get an email, and it'll be from former Regimental Command Sergeant Major Mike Hall, who works now. He's the executive director of Three Rangers Foundation. And it'll say, hey, we got this guy, you know, he's in Colorado. He's moving to Colorado in 6 months. And you'll see 100 Rangers on there, and you'll see, you know, 20 dudes will reply and say, like, you know, hey, yo, hit me up, get on my calendar, let's get connected, let's have a conversation, let's have coffee, and the consistency of, what's your family situation like? What's one of the questions that I ask all the time is, think about how you want your week to week, month to month, year to year life to look after this experience. And then I want you to ask your wife how she envisions the next week to week, month to month, year to year. Let's make sure that your spouse has a voice in this. Let's talk about the kids. Let's talk about how you want your engagement to look, because let's get some of those expectations out on the table, because any unstated expectation will go unmet. And it's really great, because what I appreciate, and you got guys like, you know, Tony Main is a Ranger legend as well as Mike Hall is, and Tony Main will literally sit with these guys and families and say, let's talk about it. You know, let's get it out. That's that first connection and coaching. And some guys need some real good counseling, you know, and it's like, okay, we got a solution for that. We'll get you the counseling you need. And so, yeah, if anybody's interested, I don't know if we have is it Run Ranger Run? Is there a Run Ranger Run website that we can maybe even
just Google it?
Maybe even if you, let's see here. Yeah, hit the
2019.
The top one there, on the top one, support Run Ranger Run 2025, right here, charitypledgeit.org, Run Ranger / okay, so there it is, charity.pledgeit.org / Run Ranger Run 25. Register for a team.
Awesome, man. So I guess, is this a virtual thing, right? So it's like
Anywhere across the country, man.
That's so right.
Anywhere across the world. You can do it anywhere.
I think that's so cool. The last 5K I did was with War Party Ranch, and it was a virtual one. It was cool. It was just so
sick.
awesome to see people like post their stuff from all over the country. It was awesome. I took my son up, got him involved. And
scroll up for just a second, Tyler. I'm sorry, I just interrupted you.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I'm sorry, scroll down is what I meant. This is why it's 565 miles. Corey Smith, who was a Ranger in 2012, got out after returning from his second deployment. And the dude ran 565 miles home.
So he left Fort Benning.
Yep.
And ran to Indianapolis.
Ran home 565 miles. I mean, but that's the kind of stuff that you know, like, you got to get like out on the
I got to have him on the podcast.
Reach out. Oh, look at this. This is so cute. Tony's at the top fundraiser right now. By the way, my team was the top fundraising
so this
team
is going
last
on
year.
Right now.
It's getting started. You're going to see the Applied Leadership Partners team up there. Don't worry, Tony, we're coming for you. I invite anybody to take us on and try to raise more money than our team. Just try.
That's cool.
Game on.
So how many people can be on a team?
As many as you want.
Really? And then people are pledging, like, I'll give you $1 a mile or whatever.
You can do $1 a mile, or you can, what I always recommend is just reach out to your friends and just say, hey, I'm doing this fundraiser. It means a lot to me. Here's why it means a lot to me. And I just explain why for me, because I wish I'd had Ranger for Life when I got out. I'd love for you to join me. Join me in whatever way you want. If you want to log miles with me. If you can make a donation, I'd appreciate that. Make a donation to us. Man, you would be blown away to see how much joy people get from saying, I get so many thank yous every year. People are like, hey, thank you for sharing this with me. I am so happy to participate in this. I think my team last year, we raised $80,000.
It gives training a purpose, right?
Yeah, because you're on a mission.
Yeah. And you will push yourself further. Like, that's what me and my son experienced with that last virtual 5K that we did, because, in the mindset, and this is why I think it's so important what Gallant Few is doing with putting mentors or leadership from the Ranger regiments to influence young people. I think they need it now more than ever, because it's so easy to get caught up in the rat race of being on your phone or being on the 100%. Xbox, or it's so easy, right? Like, who wants to go outside and
virtual crack mainlined into your eyeballs?
Yeah. The dopamine, and then it makes the rest of life kind of dull, right? I mean, you could probably get operator syndrome from playing Call of Duty too much, right? Like, maybe not. All right.
I mean, you might get some syndrome.
But that's funner than working at Blockbuster Video. Well, I guess they're not around.
That's not a thing anymore, man. We are getting old, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more joy in trying to...
Nothing is as real as being out there on the trail yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing is that, and I will tell you that I think it's a very difficult time to be a young person in America. I think it's a particularly difficult time to be a young man in America right now.
Absolutely.
I'm a father of a young man and a father of a young woman. I'm very proud of both Ellie and Jaden. Ellie, by the way, my daughter, just graduated from CU Boulder after 3 years of college.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Congrats.
She's a freaking badass. Yeah. And she's headed over to University of Northern Colorado to start an MBA in marketing starting in the fall. This dude,
Go Bears.
I just got to take a moment here and brag on my girl.
Tyler, will you grab us a couple waters? I forgot to set some on the table.
I got to take a moment here. So Ellie calls Kel and I, I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. She calls us last, I don't know, maybe it was probably in the winter, this winter, right? And she says, hey, here's the deal. I just talked to my academic advisor, and basically I can knock out a couple of classes over the summer and I can graduate in 3 years. You guys said that you would fund me going to college, a state school for 4 years. Will you allow me to stay in Boulder on my 4th year, but go get my MBA from University of Northern Colorado? And we're like, yes, of course, go, game on, do it.
Right.
And so she's Yeah, man, she's pretty rad. She's doing an internship right now with a large finance organization that helps public finance and does some amazing things in across the country, based here in Denver, and we're just super proud of her, dude. So
That's rad, man.
anyways,
But it goes back to full circle, back to mentorship, and like these virtual things I think are really cool because my son, the light finally went off in his head. I said, listen, I would love for you to go do this 5K with me, and in support of what you donate, you get a t-shirt, right? So that was like the dangling carrot for him, is like, and they're really cool shirts. And it says, I completed a whatever.
Badass.
You have to log it, or after you log it or post your workout or something, then they send you the.
I saw the shirts. That was this is Jeremiah Wilbur's. Yeah.
Do you know Jeremiah?
I don't know him personally, but I've
man.
listened to all of his episodes. Like,
He's the man.
Really neat stuff that they're doing. So much respect to them. And you had an artist too, the woman who does the classes with them.
So I've had quite a few of them on because I
Very
think
cool.
it's really unique what Jeremiah's doing. Well, it's very unique what Jeremiah's doing. The actual nonprofit War Party movement, we can't even really talk about what he does. Because it's a different, and him being an operator, right? A Green Beret of
big deal.
I think he had like a 21-year career or something when it was all said and done, the way it worked out for him or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Pretty
crazy
special,
amount.
man.
Yeah. Has been through some shit, right? And is doing so. He's one of those guys I was talking about in mentorship and just life, and has taught me like you don't have to agree with everything I say, or like
It's totally fine.
right. And but anyways, it's really cool what he's doing and his passion behind it and his reasoning, and it's a community that needs more help now than ever.
Yeah.
Is missing, murdered, and indigenous women, because they're not getting help from anybody.
Yeah.
Their peers, tribal leaders, federal government, local police can't do any. It's just a crazy thing, right? But he spun it into a whole nother thing, which is War Party Ranch. That's an entire board of women. I think he's the only male that's a board member, but that's more combating domestic violence, which kind of goes hand in hand with what a lot of these girls are dealing with. So shout out to War Party Movement and War Party Ranch. But they did this virtual 5K. So I told my son, I said, hey, I would like you to go do this with me. We've never went and did a workout at Red Rocks, although he's been there. I was like, let's go run Red Rocks.
Heck yeah.
If we run it twice, it'll be the 3.12 miles, right?
yeah.
If we park at this parking lot, like kind of mapped it out, because I love going there, especially when it's a little bit cooler up here, to go there and do rucks. And it's like, the eye candy is incredible. I hope my wife isn't listening, but like, you know what I mean? Like I'm
not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
It's an awesome place to like work out. It's a beautiful set. It's an incredible setting.
Oh, it's beautiful. Right? But I love what you're talking about here, because it's like set an objective, right?
Yeah.
Like do something epic, something cool.
And I knew that little fucker could probably outrun me.
And he did, didn't he?
No, I put the sticks to him. I was sore as shit the next day, but I did it in a vest too.
Wow.
So I did I have one of those brute force. They make a fucking awesome weight vest.
Yeah.
That's not tactical, it's just a weight vest for running.
Your son doesn't have something that we have, which is the mastery of suffering.
Right.
He didn't know how to suffer yet.
He learned that day a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. You got to get the reps in, though.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So then, after it was all said and done, and we took our photos and did the thing, I said, let's go do the stairs one more time. And I want you to wear this. And I made him wear the vest to go up the stairs out, just a little extra, to get to the car. So it was super cool. Yeah. But I think like that sort of thing is just facing adversity, I think, is huge, right? And then to be able to do it with your dad or some sort of mentorship is so important. So that's why I think this is really cool, man. I'd love to support these guys and
jump in, dude. Let's go, Mountainside team.
Fuck yeah.
Come on, take it on.
Tyler, you in? You want to go run right after we get out of here?
Yeah,
He's in.
All right, cool.
You could pick something epic. Like last year, we had a team, and these are like guys that I served with. We all went out and did the enchantments in Washington State. Mm-hmm. And it's like walking on the moon, dude. It's like such a beautiful, epic, scenery. Like I hung some pictures on Instagram, and it's amazing, dude. But pick an adventure.
That's rad. I do 3 to 5 miles a day anyways, is like a goal of mine, especially.
Track it and log it.
Awesome.
Track it and log it.
When does it go all the way through September?
September 3rd.
Crush this thing if it does.
September 3 through October 3.
Oh, okay. So that's the.
Oh, so
dude,
what you're seeing
archery
up here,
hunters are gonna smash this.
Come
thing,
on,
dude.
man. Come on,
let's go. Calling all archery hunters.
Calling all hunters out there, man. Come on, man. You love Rangers. That's how we got our start out there ranging American frontier.
So I got a question for you, because like some of the mentorship that I get from these guys are stories that they've told me that maybe they shouldn't have told me or couldn't have told me, or maybe they trust me enough to tell me. Then also I think it's really cool what you guys are doing as far as Rangers leading Rangers, right? Because you can't, and going out and getting those degrees to actually help people, whether it's a psychology degree or whatever it is, to counsel people in the best way that you can. So like attacking it from 2 different positions, professionally, and then also that common ground, right? Because I'm a firm believer in you can't experience everything that a Denver cop has experienced, right?
Sure.
Like this coin, for example. This is the Nuggets championship coin for the Denver police. But there's a whole backstory of why this coin was created and the SWAT member that lost his leg. Like, there's so much more meaning to this.
Yeah.
But unless you were there and experienced it, you don't know what this is. This is cool, right? It's a shiny object. It's cool from there. But like another Denver police officer would know what that means more than me, right?
Yeah.
I've been privileged to be presented that and given that, but I don't have the feeling that those guys do, right? Like same with the road crew for Metallica, to bring it back, because we opened with that. Nobody can experience what they've experienced. My son asked me a question because I took him to the first night. Take it back to my son. The first concert I took him to, I carried him into. And that was the last concert he's been to up until Metallica. And now he's 12 years old. And I introduced him to metal music last year because I used to have a ritual playing high school football, or my team did.
Sure.
We would listen to Cowboys from Hell before every game, before we left the locker room. It was the last thing you heard on the way out. We were leaving on the last lick.
Yep.
And the first 5 minutes of football was murder, man. It was badass, dude.
God
Everybody
help you if you're on the other side.
Like, what, these mountain kids are crazy.
What is wrong with these guys?
Freaking barbarians.
Guys are all hopped up on Pantera.
Oh, man. Yeah, leading with helmet. It was just a different time. So anyways, long story short, he was playing football at a high level. I introduced him to really like thrash metal.
Yeah.
So he found this new love for Metallica. He's like, yeah, I get it. Like, music sets the mood. But then at the end of that, we're so lucky because you know what it was like trying to leave Mile High Stadium with drunk people, and it takes forever. You're bottlenecked into so many different ways. It took hours to get out of the freaking parking lot, right?
True.
Yeah. So it's really cool. The crew there on that Saturday night, they all hang out. They pull in this taco truck. There's a bunch of beer. They're making s'mores. They got little campfire things out there. Like, Tyler was having a blast, and he's like, why are these guys all so grumpy? I was like, Tyler, they've been around the world. They've done this so many times. The last thing they want to do is sit in this parking lot right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they all treat them great, you know?
Yeah.
But they're just, you can just tell they're just beat to, it's a beat down.
Yeah. But those are the moments, though, right?
Right.
Where you connect.
Yeah. So I think you can't understand it unless you've actually been a part of it. So I think it's so important. So like a lot of times with that, are you sharing like personal experiences more? Like, so there's common ground, like this is what I went through in that transition, or maybe I went through this in this deployment, or coming off the target,
anything,
whatever. Yeah.
All of the above.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
would you say that that's the biggest commonality or has the most impact on guys is being able to relate, or is it?
I think so. I think it starts with that, you know, and you could even look at this idea of connecting coaching and counseling as almost a progression. First, you have to connect with others. You've got to kind of get out of your own way. You got to get out of your head. You got to get out of this mindset that all of a sudden now I'm expected to go be the Lone Ranger responsible for this team. And that's just not true. Your team being your family. And then you get some coaching, right? And I think that bridge is really important. And this is where I share this frequently. I might have even shared in the last episode, but you know, I think as veterans, as Rangers, whether you're talking to another Ranger or whether I'm talking to, you know, another, you know, special operator, you know, SEAL, CAG, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think we can use our stories to build bridges or walls. I think that we can build walls, and you know, I could sit here and be Mr. 1,000-yard stare and, you know, act like nobody can ever understand me or anything unless you were in that situation. Or I can try to build a bridge and say, you know, like obviously this person is connected to me. We're friends. He cares about me. You know, I can open up a little bit, and we can build a bridge where we can meet in the middle. And when that happens, then I think that you can have some of those coaching, you know, moments, right? You can have some of those things where, you know, like you've been living in the world longer than I have because, you know, I was in the military for 11 years. And so there are things that you know that you can help me with, and there are things that I know that I can help you with, but we can't figure that out unless we meet in the middle of that bridge. And with the guys that are getting out, I think it becomes even more a focal point. You know, I think your question is bang on, because one of the things that I usually do is I'll just give them kind of a one over the world and just say, like, you know, hey brother, like I was in the Ranger Regiment from 18 years old to what, you know, almost 30, 27, 28 years old. I get it. Here's what I experienced. You know, I was in the Middle East 8 days after the towers fell on 9/11. I did 4 rotations to Afghanistan. I missed my son's birth, had a hard time with my family. When we got out, you know, I have an even a more difficult time, and people are just like, I get it. You know, like, dude, that's kind of what I'm worried about, or that's what I'm thinking about, or that's where I'm at right now, or things aren't going great right now with my spouse, or, you know, I'm having a hard time with my kid. Like, I feel like an alien when I come home. When I take the uniform off and I'm in the house, I feel like an idiot because, you know, my wife's got all the systems down, and if I jump in and, you know, and meanwhile I'm conditioned to be very decisive. You know, I have been trained to be a leader.
I solve problems.
Yeah. And now I am a problem.
Right.
I don't know what to do with that. And it's just like, okay, hey, I got it. You know, I get you, brother. Like, let's talk about it. Right. And I think that that's where, you know, it comes from, because it's hard to wrap your mind around some of those things, especially when you're in a culture that looks at it from a very like fantastical point of view, you know, like exploding arrow tips and compound bows. Like, that's what people think.
They're watching the recruitment commercials.
They're watching a recruitment commercial, and that's real, right? But what they don't see is everything that it took to get to that, all of the miserable moments of training and pain and, you know, just all the stuff that it takes to get there. You know, like, perfect example, like you can look and see guys jumping out of a plane, guys and gals jumping out of an airplane, you know, and be like, whoa, like, that's sexy as hell, right? You know, these cats are doing an airborne operation.
It's so rock and roll.
Yeah. It's so rock and roll. You know, it's not rock and roll. The shitty feeling of being on an aircraft for 4 hours, loaded up, weighed down with 250 pounds of shit all over you, having to take a piss for like 3 hours, dudes next to you vomiting in their shirts because they don't want to get it on their Ranger buddy on the inside of their, you know, because you're flying nap of the earth. So it's terrible, right? What you don't see is back that up 96 hours, and you don't see like all the havoc in the house. And, Kelly, after a while, finally figured it out. She had this like I would do these things and she's like, "Are you jumping this week?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." She's like, "Oh, okay." Why? Because it's terrifying. That's why. It's scary. I hated jumping out of planes. I hated it.
And the picture is always going out the back of the C-130, right? It's like the glory moment.
Yeah,
right?
you're like, woo, and it's so rock and roll and everything like that. And like what you don't see is like, hitting like a sack of shit, like lawn darting.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you get up from that one. Sometimes, one time I got knocked out on the drop zone. Like you don't see all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But to bring it back to your question, I know what that guy went through.
Right.
Like I know what it took to get to where he is right now.
But a normal counselor or psychologist might not have that. They might have just went to freaking Harvard and grew up in Boston, on their freaking canoe or whatever those things are.
They might not.
Row. Yeah.
But this is where it becomes really important, and that progression becomes important, right? If one of my ranger buddies here that I meet through this program, or SEAL or Green Beret or whatever, AFSOC dude, says like, "Yo, man, I want to get into like the rock and roll scene. I want to get into the roadie scene." I'd be like, "Okay, cool. Well, I don't know anything about that, but my buddy Bobby does. Let me connect you with my buddy Bobby."
Yeah.
It's instant credibility because it's like, oh, okay, cool. If he's your friend and I'm your friend and I get where you're coming from, Brandon's not going to introduce me to some shithead. He's going to introduce me to a good dude.
That's exactly what the philosophy I've built here at the Mountainside is that same sort of philosophy. Is
come into the Mountainside community because you're going to find people, or they might say like, "Hey, I want to get into the fight game." Like, no problem, man. Like, let me hook you up with my buddy Dustin. Let's get you out to Factory X, like get you, like, that's not my world. But because I have been out long enough and because I have had enough connections, I can help facilitate that. And then sometimes you get to that place where I have a lot of guys who will say like, here's what's happening.
And that, what you just described, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, is a real life scenario because one of the crew members for Metallica, one of the video crew members that builds those tower walls every show is a former SEAL. And he went right through that sort of process of like, somebody knew somebody.
Yep.
He wanted to do this. Former Team 2 guy. And
let me make an introduction.
Look what he's doing now. He's touring the world with Metallica.
And he's crushing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's those kind of things because sometimes what happens is a guy will tell me, "I haven't slept through the night in years. I can't seem to control my rage. My back is always hurting, all the things, right? I have all these issues, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, we're probably at the level where we need a little bit of counseling now. We're probably at the level, let me make an introduction to the Marcus Institute for Brain Health. Let's get you some brain treatment.
Doc Kelly, right?
Absolutely.
Shout out.
Yeah. Doc Kelly, the whole team out there, man. Like, let's get you connected there. Let me get you connected to some trauma-informed therapy. People who understand. They've worked in this environment long enough that they understand the cultural competence that they can have a conversation with you and they will help you. People like, I've been with my therapist for over 6 years, Emily. I mean, she's a fucking badass, right? She understands. She has walked the hard miles, with operators. She's worked in the prison system. She understands people. She doesn't try to say that she's anything other than what she is. And she doesn't need to. But the thing about it is that when you need that kind of help, you need to get it from an expert. And I am not an expert in that.
It's so true, man. Like I think people that are listening to this, whether you were a veteran or no matter what in life, like I think the biggest thing that I've learned here is I'm a very proud person and I try to do everything on my own as much as I can. But where I've made leaps and bounds is honestly when I've asked for help.
Yep.
Or hired somebody to help. That's where you make the significant gains.
That's right.
And I've seen it firsthand.
I mean, that's our business.
Right.
That's our whole business, right? You know, people ask us for help.
Applied Leadership Partners, is that okay?
Yep, appliedleadershippartners.com. That's our whole business, man. Like people say, you know, can you help us? Can you help us navigate the complexity of growth, change, or adversity? And here's what we tell every single time. No matter what environment we go into, the client will always be the expert in that environment. Blaine and I are not experts in public finance. We're not experts in manufacturing. You know, we're not experts in the healthcare aspect. What we are experts in is persevering. What we are experts in is leading teams through times of great change and uncertainty to reach their next hilltop together. That's what we're experts in.
Vomiting in your own shirt so you don't get it on your buddy.
Yeah. Just try not to yell too much at the kids on a jump.
Well, and I think
sucks.
That's so rad, man. Yeah, I want to go down. I think we need to have. We're coming up on time here pretty soon. But I think an instant place where you can get this is, dude, I get sent books all the time. I think I told you this, but your book really stands out to me. Like the way it's written, your and Blaine's book.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Is incredible.
Thanks, dude.
Persevere is greater than endurance.
Perseverance is greater than endurance.
Right?
Yep.
And it's at shit. You can get it at Walmart, Target.
You can get it wherever books are sold. It's so fun to say, yeah, look at this. You can get it at
the
Target.
audiobook's great. But it's much more than just a leadership book, man. Like some of the stories that you told on there, it's incredible book. It's an incredible read. Whether you're looking for, maybe you're set up in life, maybe you're knocking it down and driving a Lambo, you could still take something from this book, right? Like you could take something from this book and make yourself better. That's how I feel. I recommend it. The signed copy that you gave me is the first thing you see when you walk in the door.
Yeah, thanks,
There's
man.
a few things that
I
people,
appreciate that, brother.
So they get to pick it up all the time. And it's such a great book, man. Like, I encourage people, go check this out. The audiobook is how I took it in. Now I have the hard copy. The hard copy is really cool, too, because of all the photos that you put in there and stuff, and Blaine put in there. It's super rad.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And if people are driving around listening to this, you can go to perseverancebook.com and it'll take you.
Yeah, open the show notes and we'll have direct links to Gallant Few, Applied Leadership Partners, and then also we'll put a link in there to the book.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And so it's super simple. Or go to themountainside.com as well. There'll be links all right there too on the blog page.
Tyler, you're crushing it, dude. By the way. I keep looking over. I'm like, man, you're in my brain.
Yeah, it's preemptively.
This right here is, if you can stay right there for a moment, I'd appreciate that. Like, this is kind of one of the things that's really meant a lot to Blaine and I is that we tell stories in the book, and we don't tell stories for the sake of telling war stories. We tell them for the hope that it will help people to open up a new window to an old truth, right? And to have people like General McChrystal come back and reach out to us and say, like, you guys nailed it, supremely entertaining and brilliantly practical. That we were able to translate our experiences into invaluable lessons for leadership in life. Stuff like that means a lot to me, man. Like, I heard from the division commander, the commanding general of the 82nd Airborne Division, just a couple weeks ago. He was my company commander back in Charlie Company 275 Ranger. And just to have him reach out, he's just like completely unprompted out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, Ranger buddy, just want to let you know, just finished your book. Good job, buddy. Well done."
It's acceptance from your peers, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and from the community that, and like there's a lot of weird stuff out there, man. Like people tell stories, and unfortunately, I think there's a lot of embellishment of stories.
Oh, we're seeing it more now than ever.
Dude,
it's crazy.
I'm like, just for God's sakes, man, just like tell the story. It's good enough,
Well, that's the whole thing that I don't understand is like you can't discount anything that they've done. Even if they're a guy that just made it through selection, they should be proud of that.
Yeah. 100%.
right? Like,
absolutely.
what story more do you need to tell?
Just tell your story. And, but like guys like General McChrystal or Don Fall, he's the CEO of CrossFit, saying like, yo, you guys did a good job. Ann Terry, CEO of the Special Districts Association of Colorado and the CEO of the National Special Districts Association, dealing with small government across the United States. Like, bang on.
Dude, I got so much
Essential
from
read.
it. I got something that I want to ask you.
Send it.
And I hope that you do this, but I know that this is super personal to you. The last time you were in, you said that you kept a journal with you, like in a Ziploc bag.
Yep.
And I think it was your arm pocket or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think what's so great about this book is you guys will tell a 45-minute or, I don't know what that equates to in pages, because it's very rare that I open up a book.
I'm totally with you, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a long-winded, start to stop, jaw-dropping, gripping story that really shows what a ranger does on an op or through a selection course, certain stories, right, that you and Blaine put in there.
And Green Beret.
And kind of, and Green Berets, and putting yourself out there and showing the vulnerability, which Rangers are not very good at, I think, a lot of the time, right?
We're getting better.
Yeah.
We're growing.
And I'm sure there's a ton of personal stuff in that journal, but have you ever considered like writing a book just on that journal and maybe doing some personal spins on it?
So it's interesting because you and I were talking about this on the phone on Monday. And I hadn't really thought much about it. I hadn't really thought of what I was going to do with it until I was on a podcast a couple months ago with a former Marine Anglico named Jason Kramer. Really great guy, former Action Guys podcast. Wonderful dude.
I'll have to check them out. But
he's such a good dude, man.
Cool.
And I had never been asked the questions the way that he asked me these questions about, like, he's like, did I hear that
this is what we were talking about on the phone.
Yeah, he's like, did I hear that you had a journal from your time in the war? I said, yeah. He must have heard it from the mountainside. He must have heard it from your podcast.
Thanks for listening. I'll go and listen.
He's such a good dude.
I'm all about supporting that community too. So
he's great, man. Yeah. And so he was asking me these questions about that, and I was like, yeah. And he said, what was it like being one of the first guys over there? Because the first time I was in Afghanistan was the spring of 2002, and I just hadn't even thought about it. And he said, what are you going to do with that journal? I said, I don't know. And you and I were talking about it Monday, and I actually brought it in.
You did?
Yeah.
So this is you brought the journal that you carried with you.
Yeah. So this is these are some of the journals. So I have 3 of these.
Dude, put those in your gun safe or fire safe or something, just in case. Because,
I don't know that they're that important, but
yes, they are.
But it says, I think what's interesting here is it says on the front. So this is the plastic bag I carried, and it was right here in my pocket, and it says, "Important, give to my wife in event of death." And yeah, man, like these are. I hadn't really pulled it out for a long time until just recently, because
so these have been around the world with you.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool. Do you know? This sounds stupid as shit, but I have one suitcase that I won't get rid of.
Yeah,
because it's been more spots on the globe than most people I know.
Yeah,
and the wheels are falling off, and I've refurbished this stupid roller Dakine bag. Shout out to Dakine when they actually used to build a good bag. But it's just the sentimental value, right? It's like hunting knives that have been passed down. Yeah. That's fucking cool, man.
I still have my knife that I carried on every mission in Afghanistan.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's badass.
Yeah,
the history that's behind it. Because I remember, how many animals I field dressed and who was with me and what I've done with it. That's really cool. But I think this is even more valuable than a tool, because this will actually tell you the story. And one thing that I'm really kicking myself in the ass for is I just lost a super close, influential family member to me this last month. And we just laid her to rest this last weekend and had this beautiful funeral. And she had told me so many stories from her dad and what had happened here locally, and them homesteading and stuff that had been passed down to her. And my brain just doesn't retain, like, I don't remember everything that you and I talked about in that 3 hours. It will come back to me.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest parts about it is being able to archive it through this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in my own greed and own sort of archiving, I guess, in the back of my mind, and one thing that I try to keep is like, that helps me be a better podcast host and try to get better at this, is the one thing that I hope is that listeners get something out of it. But more importantly is this is a way to kind of leave my legacy right here at this table, and my kids to go back and truly find out who I was.
Yeah, that means a lot to me as well, Bobby. Remember my father was, he was just a sick guy, compulsive liar, narcissist, criminal, and stolen valor guy.
Really?
Oh yeah. He said he was a Green Beret. He was never a Green Beret. He said he went to Vietnam. He never went to Vietnam. And I figured all that out later in life. And for me to have like stuff documented, I think that's one of the major reasons why I wrote so much shit down, because
I wish I would have done that on the road, man.
I just wanted it. I didn't want there to be. I just wanted the kids to know.
That's why I'm saying you need a fire safe, dude. Like, you need security to walk that. You need a big guy in a briefcase and a suit to open that up. And like,
I don't know, man. It's the most beautiful part is that whether my kids ever read this or not, my kids know me.
Yeah.
And they know that I love them. They know I'm imperfect. I've messed so many things up, but that I think is what really matters the most to me. And so after that interview that I did, I pulled these out, and Jaden was home, and Ellie was home, and we were sitting in my little office, and Ellie was like, "Read me a page of that," and I was like, "Okay." So I pulled it out, and I read a page, and it was in one of these journals here. It was the day that Jaden was born.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but will you read a page here?
Sure. You want to hear what I read to my daughter? Let me see if I can find it. I don't know. And when I was done reading, I looked over, and Ellie was just tears streaming down her face.
Yeah.
So,
and don't feel like you have to, man. If this is a personal thing to you.
No.
I don't know that I would read my journal.
Well, it might be redacted.
Yeah. Okay.
No, man. I brought this in because you and I were talking about it on Monday.
That's so cool, man. Thanks for bringing that in.
Happy to share this if it's a
that
value.
sort of stuff means so much to me. Yeah, that's cool.
So this is June 13th, 2003, 0505. I'm sitting on the HLZ waiting for exfil from the Lawara fire base. The black sheep relieved us and told me there's a bird leaving tomorrow for home. I'm trying to get on it, but I know they won't let it happen. I'll write more later. 1300, showered for the first time in 11 days today after I shaved my head. I suppose I've been getting some sun after all, and it shows somewhat. This isn't what I read to my daughter, but I'm just kind of flipping through here just on the fly. So, okay, so this is now June 13th, 2002, 1410. Talked to Kelly. She's in the first stage of labor right now. Her contractions are 10 minutes apart. I hate myself right now. I don't feel like writing anymore. Now this is the 14th, 0330. I don't know how to feel right now. I'm upset because I'm not there in Seattle where my son is being born. But I need to be happy for Kelly. I guess it's 100% in Seattle right now, or 100 degrees in Seattle right now, which is a record temperature. She's probably very uncomfortable. I need to just be happy about this miracle that is happening. I'm so happy that I'm going to be a father. I just wish I could be there to hold my little son in my arms. I want him to look up into my eyes and it to be the first thing he sees in life. I hope he knows me. I'm so scared that he won't know me. I'm scared that I'll come home and he won't want me to hold him because he doesn't recognize my voice. I'm just going to fast forward here. So this is, she's in labor. I talked to Erin and Jen, two friends that were her labor partners. I could hear Kelly screaming in the background, yelling, ouch, ouch, it hurts, and crying. I almost lost it. I hung up the phone. I hate myself so much. My wife is in the worst pain she's ever experienced, and I'm not there for her. I am the worst husband and father ever. I fucking hate myself so much. I can't get her screams out of my head. I'm so angry right now. I don't know what to do. I want to crush someone. I know that's not the right answer, but I'm so scattered right now. Why won't they just send me home? What does it matter now the damage is done? The laments of my wife in pain keep playing over and over in my head. I wish I could take her pain on myself. I can't even be there for her. I'm so ashamed of myself.
Man. Dude, thanks for reading that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can say that would be right. I think first and foremost, this is a true perspective to so people understand. It's not just the sacrifice of going down range. It's the entire family sacrifice. Like that burden weighs heavy on.
Yeah.
On everybody.
Yeah. It's a lot, The next entry I have was 6 hours later, and it just says June 14, 2002, 0945, Jaden Jude Young, 6 pounds, 6 ounces. And then it says, my son is born into the world. I thank God that he and Kelly are healthy. I got to hear it happen over the phone, and it was amazing. I'm sad I'm not there, but a miracle happened today, and I thank God for it. I can't wait to see him. God bless his little heart. I hope he isn't afraid of me. Yeah, it's.
But look where he's at. I mean, is it crazy? This is a question. Is it crazy now to see where he's at with his military career and like you reading this and putting yourself back in that moment?
Yeah.
Because you were worried about him not knowing you, and I would imagine his impact in joining the military and being in the division that he's in currently right now.
Mm-hmm.
He probably wouldn't be there if it wasn't for your influence, and maybe not you specifically pushing him to do that, but
I didn't want him to, actually.
yeah.
I didn't want my son to follow my footsteps because I didn't want him to suffer the way that I had suffered. And it is an incredible honor that my son wanted to follow in my footsteps. You understand at this point in time, like the thoughts in my head, I was so like ashamed because my dad had taken off on me and I wasn't there. I wasn't there because I chose it. I chose the war. I was going to be damned if someone else was going to lead my Rangers in combat. I also had an obligation. I had a mission. All that stuff happens, right? And there are consequences to all that stuff. And there are many consequences of the impact of all of these decisions over time. And the thing about it is that my orienting thought was I was afraid he would be afraid of me. I was a killer. That's what we were trained to do. Close with and destroy the enemies of our country. We were not there to do anything other than hunt the enemies of our country and eliminate them. And I was really good at it.
Yeah.
And I was all types of in. And so I was scared. I was very scared.
Kids change your perspective so much, man.
Yeah.
So much, right? In life, and just it's the best thing to ever happen to me as a man.
Oh, 100%.
Because it grounded me so much. But
yeah.
it's
that's what I read to my daughter, by the way. And
awesome.
That last part, and she just
hey, listen, we're coming up on time. So
yeah.
we could have recorded 19 hours with you today. If you had that time.
Yeah.
I just want to end on those, and I think that thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think it's a true perspective. And I'm so lucky with the friend set that I have with you included in that friend set, to know what you guys really go through. And I think the biggest part of you sharing that moment is it puts it in perspective and appreciation for the general public. And that's just one guy's story. Think about how many people are enlisted and have served this country and in so many different ways. I mean, if you're a paramedic on a freaking ambulance in any city or whatever, there's so many levels to service, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that this is some of the reasons, but to bring it back to the military, that's a whole nother level of commitment where you're gone. You're owned, right?
100%.
And that level of commitment, so I can go to bed at night and sleep and not worry about bad people doing bad things, right? Like it's and those aren't my exact words. I've heard that from multiple people, Francesca Parker, and then Jason the Butcher said that on the opening line to the pilot to his TV show. It's like, I don't think people understand what these men and women do so we can sleep safe and sound in our beds at night. I think that's so eloquently put, man. Like, so thank you.
Yeah.
First off. But I think sharing that sort of stuff, man, that's a lot to put out there, though. Maybe you shouldn't write a book. You know what I mean? That's opening yourself up more than most people would.
I would say that, Blaine and I, when we wrote Perseverance is Greater Than Endurance, I really feel like we went there, especially in the last chapter when we talk about go together, which I would encourage, if you really want to get a good sense of what that looks like past kind of the, sexy moments, the blowing doors off hinges and jumping out of airplanes and all that kind of crap, which, some of that's in here too. But if you want to get past that and see what it really looks like on the back end of it, the aftermath of it, I mean, you'll see it was not an easy road. Just to be here to talk, and what Blaine went through was not easy. But we tried to share it because we wanted to be honest in the approach. I think too many times we think that, somebody writes a book or, somebody puts forth some kind of like fantastical story. And I mean, there's some crazy missions that went down out there, and, tell your story, whatever, like it's your story. But I think that people who haven't lived in that world and don't know people from that world get this perception that, you just are some kind of like, inhuman or superhuman, or you're operating at this kind of like Rambo level, and that's just not true. Mm-hmm. Even in any of those guys that tell, some of those kind of stories, and I guess to a certain extent, Blaine and I have shared some of those stories, but we wanted to be earnest in saying that, like, hey, special operators don't hold a monopoly on hardship. We don't hold a monopoly on adversity. We don't hold a monopoly on perseverance. I'm offering this story to you to hope that it helps to inspire you and frame things in a way that are understandable. But the truth is that, coming back to the world was probably about 10 times harder.
Really?
Absolutely. Than jumping out of an airplane or, fast roping onto the side of a mountain or,
what your objective is. Like, sometimes that uncertainty is the worst.
It's the uncertainty, right? That's exactly right. And that's why we dug into those topics in Perseverance is Greater Than Endurance. And that's also why we wanted to frame it in a way for people also to understand that, like, look, it's not like I got back from Afghanistan and I just had like the cheat code to life. It's not like that at all. I knew how to ranger. I knew how to ranger really freaking well. I didn't know how to live.
You can't do that at Walmart.
You can't do that at Walmart. Yeah, no, man. Yeah. Like I didn't know how to do all of those things. Mm-hmm. And so those things are things that we all deal with. They're human things, right? Like, you want to know what's really hard is like having kids. That's really freaking hard, Yeah. Trying to have a rich marriage with your spouse. That's really freaking hard. Trying to start a business, trying to start a podcast, trying to stay in business, trying to meet the needs of your customers when things keep changing on a dime, right? Mm-hmm. All of that stuff's hard, and so we talked a lot about that in the last portion of the book because we wanted to be very honest about that because I think far more connects us than divides us, and that's also why I have a kind of passion for like a Ranger for Life because I want to make sure that people understand like, yo, you may have just gotten off the X, but there's a whole lot that you're about to face here in transitioning out, in college and work and family life, buying a home, finding out where you want to be. No one's going to send you where you're going to go to your next mission. You're going to have to find it.
Right.
And all of that is why we try to just be, and I say we, Blaine and I try to just be honest about it because the animating questions for us consistently are for who and for what. Why am I sitting here, telling you this? For who and for what? Is it for me? Do I want people to feel sorry for me? No, I don't need that. I don't feel sorry for me anymore. I used to, but will it help open up a perspective for others to understand what people who are deployed, because they're still deployed right now,
Yep.
what they're actually dealing with? Because it's far more than just, the outside appearance, the nice uniforms and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot that's going on out there. Is it so that others can understand? Is it for me? And it is for me. This is why. For me, it's building the bridge instead of maintaining the wall. I'm not interested in maintaining the wall. Do you know why? Because I tried that. Check out the last chapter of the book and you'll see how that went for me.
Well, man, I know it's inspired me. I've gotten so much from it. I was just thinking as you were coming up today, I was like, God, I got to go back through the book. I'm ready to go for round 2. Right. And that was a couple months ago. I took it in for the first time. So
yeah, thanks, man.
It's that good. And I got so much out of it. It made me level up here at the podcast in the last couple months since you've been in. Like,
oh, thanks,
I think people can see that. Like, just like be undeniable. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool. I think I really, really appreciate you and Blaine sharing those and you sharing those moments because I think I love the rock and roll aspect of it. I love the fast roping, the jumping out of airplanes, the blowing hinges off of doors, the fucking kicking indoors, all of it, right?
It's sexy as hell.
It's fucking badass, dude. It is America as America gets, man. Like, I think everybody should fear us.
Yeah.
I think that's a good outlook to have is like,
pound for pound World War champs.
It keeps people in check, right? Like, my best podcast is when I'm in fear of who's sitting across from me, and that's kind of a goal.
Yeah.
I'm fearful of you. I know what you could do.
I'm not that dude. Come on now.
I'm fearful of Jason. You know what I mean? Like those, I love that perspective. I love that rock and roll side of it. I love the adrenaline side of it. But there's a whole underbelly, right? That's just one little portion, like you talked about, like going out of the back of the plane.
Sure.
You're seeing that rock and roll sexy moment, what it took to get there, all the sort of training, and not only that, just the suck mentally, which you just shared.
Yeah.
And the mental toll is so huge. And I think I've gotten so much out of it. That's why I think so many guys from your community, and not just Ranger, anybody that served, I've gotten a lot of perspective from and been able to apply it. And sometimes it's not even, just for example, like my buddy Caleb Brewer, you know, like we went down to Tucson recently and recorded with him.
Nice.
Awesome Green Beret, double amputee.
I love me some Green Berets.
Crushing it in fucking life, dude. Like,
I love them all, though.
His home, his family is beautiful. His workout regimen, he's a fucking specimen of a man. It made me feel like a real fucking slob just hanging out with him for a couple days. I was like, and then
don't you do that to yourself, Bobby?
We're on it. It is archery range, and anybody that stand on polished concrete for a long time will understand this, right?
Yeah,
For multiple hours. And of course, I'm doing it in Vans skate shoes, which isn't the most thing, but we're hanging out at the range. And there was one moment there where I started to feel sorry for myself a little bit. And this is all just mental stuff, and I'm being totally open. And I was like, man, my feet kind of, and I got to that point and I was like, you sack of shit, you know, because I'm standing next to a guy that literally has no legs, and another guy that has no arm, you know, and that sort of perspective is so inspiring to me, because literally he has, people in that position have the option to just sit on the couch and do nothing. That is an option for him, and still get through life. And but that's not why he gets up and runs his archery shop and does all the stuff that he does his daily workouts, and like, so freaking cool, man. That shit is so inspiring to me. Whenever I think I'm having a bad time, I can reflect on those moments. So I think it's just another shared perspective. So I think it's really cool, man.
And I think that's the hope, right?
Yeah.
Is like, there are people all over the planet who are experiencing their own brand of adversity. And it's not for anybody to tell anybody else what is their own brand of adversity or not. And the thing is that, you know, you can just kind of like sit on your rucksack and just quit. You know, you can survive for your whole life, but hopefully, you know, when we all kind of share some of these real moments, and regardless of what you're facing, you'll choose not to. You'll choose to just get up and take the next best step you can take to move forward, because odds are probably got a family that's rooting for you, probably got a family that's counting on you, probably got friends that really love you. Mm-hmm. And like I said, man, we need all of us. We don't need some of us. We need all of us.
Awesome, man. Let's end on that note. We're actually 5 minutes over schedule right now.
Yeah. Thanks for
real
having
quick
me, bro.
Before you jump off, Applied Leadership Partners.com. Direct link.
Yeah, man.
Go there. Get the book. Perseverance is greater than endurance.
That's right.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it right for the first time.
You got it, man. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I'm going to screw it up the next time. And then Gallant Few.
Gallantfew.org.
Okay.
Run Ranger Run 2025. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Let's wrap it up. Tyler, take us away. Brandon, thank you so much for being here, bro.
Thanks,
Love
bro.
you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Thanks for the gift, too.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.